You better be in the house when them street lights come on. Ain't that what your mama used to tell you? But I bet you when she told you to stay out the streets, she had no idea that the YouTube streets would take over the world. Uncle Juice, public figure Boogie, Baby Down So Raw, Detroit Gossip, and the most dangerous voice in Detroit, Dogface TV.
Bitch, I talk more shit than Dogface.
They running shit from coast to coast. Welcome to the Danger Zone.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Let's go.
Yeah.
Mic check 1 2 1 2. Mic check 1 2 1 2. My name is Dogface Calderon. I am a representative of the YouTube streets, Dogface TV. Hey, listen, my next guest is arguably one of the funniest human beings on the face of this planet. That's one. Number two, he's probably one of the most I can't even fucking get my shit out because he already laughing and shit. Let me get my intro out the way, brother.
All right,
he's
all right.
He's arguably one of the most controversial people who's ever stepped foot into Hollywood. That's number two. Number three, he's one of the most outspoken and most opinionated black men you're ever gonna wanna meet ever. Mr. Spanky Hayes. What's the word with the Spank?
Hey man, thank you, man. Hey, listen, you are far too kind, man. Thank you so much, bro.
Oh, and, I know I am. You owe me. I know I am. Yeah. You owe me.
yeah. I cash out you.
Well, I got you. So Spanky Hayes is in the building. Actor, comedian, actor.
Yeah.
All around good guy. Spanky. So I don't really know where to start. So let's just start with your origins, because there's a misconception. Most people think that you are from LA or from Los Angeles or from California, some parts California. Right. Where are you really from?
Well, shout out to Inglewood. Shout out to the whole LA. Shout out to the Bay. Shout out to the whole California, North and South. But I'm from Detroit, Michigan. You know what I'm saying? I'm from Brightmoor, Pilgrim and Blackstone, corner house. The motherfucking house moved. The neighborhood was so bad. I went to go show my wife, this is where I used to live. That motherfucking house wasn't even there no more. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm from the real sticks of Brightmoor. You know what I'm saying? And, grew up in New York a lot. I spent a lot of my lifetime especially early, before 18. In New York. So, you know what I'm saying? I'm back and forth from Detroit, New York, you know, etc. And then I moved to LA and never came back. So that's why people think I'm from LA.
All right. So can you talk about what growing up in Detroit, what did it do for you? What was the experience like? How did it shape you? How did it mold you? And how did it encourage you to be who you eventually went on to become?
That's a great question. I would say it starts with kind of not wanting to come back. So it gave me so much drive. Like I just did everything I could just not to come back, because I knew my friends and my homies is going to be like, oh, you failed. You came back. For some reason, Detroit people think when you leave, like you don't live there no more. Like you can't never come back or some shit. So they treat you really weird when you come back to Detroit. So that's why a lot of entertainers don't ever want to come back to Detroit if they left, because they know that they're going to go through hell, because, you know, your real friends, the people you meet, they all the fans, they all going to be like, oh, you ain't make it, you back here. So that was a big motivation. And how it motivated me, man, is just the money. We get money out here. We hustlers. Like we take, you know, something out of nothing, man, and you need that in a place like LA. You know what I'm saying? The strictness of being a man and being held accountable and knowing how to fight. You know what I'm saying? Because you have to have a lot of fights in Detroit. Like, you know, if a nigga loved you, he'll fight you. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? He won't shoot you if he love you. He'll just beat your ass if he love you. And we show a different kind of love. We give different kind of what am I saying? Compliments. Because to a Detroit dude giving each all, bitch, you think you shine, oh, bitch, you looking good. That to an outside nigga, that sound like, oh, boy, they calling each other bitches and all kind of shit. So, but they
Yeah.
don't know that that's my baby. I had to explain my baby to my wife because the first time I ever brought her to Detroit. We walked through the airport and everybody like, oh, my baby. And she's like, why is everybody calling you baby? And I was like, well, in Detroit, we don't like saying nigga. So we'll call you, something else than nigga. If we call you nigga, nigga means stronger than it. In LA, it's every word is nigga out, nigga out, cut it out, nigga out, nigga. See, out here, they don't say niggas like that. Niggas is like still a harsh word to a Detroit person versus a West Coast person. You know what I mean?
Right. I got you.
So it's just the sternness and the Detroit. Like we love the Lions. We wear the Lions jersey. We know that they might not ever. I remember I remember my grandfather said this, and this had to be about 20 years ago. And he said, before I die, the Lions gonna win the Super Bowl. And my granddaddy in heaven. You hear me? And that's not funny, but I'm just trying to tell you.
It ain't funny.
That's how much we love the Lions.
Right. And so listen, hopefully we won't have to go see Pearly Gates in the same way Granddad did without seeing these
motherfuckers. God. I pray. That's all I pray.
Yeah, because the whole thing is when it comes to the Lions, bro, I'm excited that they have turned it around, and over the last couple of seasons, they've put together winning seasons, and they're showing up and they're representing well. But I've been on the earth 50 years, bro, and I can't get excited over anything other than a Super Bowl appearance, even if they don't win. Just let me get to the Super Bowl. Right. So
and you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy? That the biggest selling jersey Detroit Lions is still Barry Sanders to this day right now, and he never went to the Super Bowl. Or even really, I think they went to one playoff game. I know they went to a wild card game.
And got bounced in the first round because he had no help.
Exactly. So just imagine that. That's how much we still love the Detroit Lions and our Tigers and our Red Wings. And these are teams that ain't really known for winning like that. You know what I'm saying? But we still support them. And that's Detroit. That's loyalty. And that's what I learned because it ain't no loyalty out there.
You a different motherfucker to still support teams that you know ain't gonna win a motherfucking thing, right? So that right there in of itself, it toughens people up who are from Detroit, right? Because you gotta be a bold motherfucker to put on colors of a team that you know don't stand a goddamn chance. You either gotta be delusional or you got to be the strongest motherfucker in the world, one of the two. You spoke about how you moved back and forth to New York. What part of New York were you living in that you migrate to, and what led you to go to New York?
Harlem, New York. Shout out to Harlem, man. 159th and 8th, Colonial Projects. My dad's side of the family, they all lived in Miami and in New York. So I would go back and forth, Miami, New York, you know what I'm saying, for my dad. Now, that's a tricky story. I've never met my dad ever, but I know his sisters, I know his mom, I know everything about him, but he just would never face me. He'd been out of my life for so long. I don't even know if he dead right now because my grandma dead, and that's the only person that would link us kind of together. Or she would take his pictures off the wall, so I would never see him. But then my auntie, when she come over, she'd be like, I just seen your dad and you want to go see him? It became like a joke to me in a way. So, but yeah, so that's why I would go to New York. And that's why I know New York is because my dad's side of the family. You know what I'm saying? Which is Cuban. I'm Cuban. I'm half Cuban.
All right, got you. So you talked about your early childhood, your early development being in Detroit. Did you make it to high school before you moved to LA?
Yeah, I went to Redford High School with Myers. So I technically graduated in the the fruit department of Myers.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Brightmoor. I'm a Brightmoor kid. You know what I'm saying? My Detroit grandmama stayed on Curtis and Shasberry by Emerson Middle School, if you know that area.
Yes.
on Curtis in between Evergreen and Southfield. You know what I'm saying? 6 miles, 7 mile, Evergreen, Southfield, in between that little spectrum right there. So
Right.
that's where I grew up in Detroit mostly until my cousin got a house and she didn't want it because it was a crack spot and everybody, didn't want it. So I was like, I want it. You know what I'm saying? So it was getting shot up and everything, dog face, but we we didn't care.
That's okay.
hey,
Hey,
we
you
did
teach us
not
to the
care
choir.
about that. We was
That's what happens in
partying.
Detroit. Listen, you ain't
Yeah.
lived until you've been in a crack house or a dope spot and that motherfucker got shot up or raided. You ain't lived. You have never listen. You
No, you
haven't
ain't live.
Detroit until you got caught up in the goddamn raid. Period. Simple as that.
Hey, I would say this:
You
you
ain't had
damn near
and you
shouldn't
ain't
be
had
able
an
to
ass
rap.
like that. You hear me?
Right? Hey, you shouldn't be able to rap if that ain't never happened. If you ain't
Right.
ever been in no raid or no shootouts, no real shootouts and shit, you shouldn't be able to rap.
Got you. So let's get into just the overall world of comedy right now, Spanky.
Yeah.
You spoke about how harsh of a city Detroit is, how hard it is, and how it shapes and molds you. But you didn't say anything about how funny it is or how enlightening it is or can be. So when people think about Detroit, they don't really think about comedy. They think about the harshness
Right.
of the overall environment. So how did you get into the
Right.
world of comedy? How were you introduced to comedy?
I was introduced to comedy because again I didn't know who my dad was. So one time I asked my mom, you know how people were bringing their dad to school and stuff like that, and I was like, Mom, I need my dad to come to school, and she was like, well, who you want to be your dad? And I was like, Richard Pryor. Shit.
Right.
And she was like, all right, fuck it, that's your daddy. So from that point on, I always just thought that Richard Pryor was my daddy. And Detroit is hard, man. It's hardcore, man. People get knocked off, beat up, knocked out, robbed. I mean, we know all the stories. Then you can go get your hair done, your hair cut, this flyest way you ever. You can bring a bitch from out of town and get their hair done, and they be like, "Damn," you know what I'm saying? It's like it's so tricky. It's fun, but so dangerous. Like this is the most dangerous fun you could be in. It's the city of Detroit because if you play your cards right and you got your nose clean, you good. Once you can't disrespect it. It's a lot like gangbanging, but not being a gangbanger. They kind of go through the same rules. Like disrespect is like a no. You could be having fun. You could be having the wrong colors on. You could be doing all that. But once you get throwing your hands up and your fingers up and we ain't on that, then it's a problem. You gotta always know where you at. And that's another thing Detroit taught you. You gotta always remember where you from and where you at. And to do comedy under those, and then let me add this. Then the niggas who got money, they Chrysler workers, they got bread. They could throw a stack at you and tell you, sit down. You ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? And we had to start in like titty bars and you know what I'm saying, gentlemen clubs. And you know what I'm saying? We started off hard. We had to go with an entertainment. Well, for me, it was Def Comedy Jam. It had came out. And so black comedy was in demand. So by the time I came out, it was like, yeah. So, but the clubs we were doing was like, whoa, correct. I'm talking about ballers, like throwing money. Shut up, you ain't funny. But you still got some bread though. You know what I'm saying? But you embarrassed. But you go back the next
Yeah.
week. So that's why I say Detroit comedians is the hardest comedians ever. Dog, I took 8 years off the game because I was just going through some spiritual stuff. But I came back to Detroit. My mom got sick, and B, I wanted to come back and get back on stage. I came back to Detroit a year ago. Now nobody can fuck with me right now, bro, because I've been in Detroit grinding, doing all the disrespectful crowds, and they don't give a head nothing about you. And so what? I've been on TV. I'm back in Detroit in front of them, so they don't care. I'm just like a regular dude again to them. So, but I took that and used it to my advantage, man, and got cold again. LA ain't ready for me right now. I'm moving back next week.
I got you. Can you remember your first comedy show? You spoke about the performing in clubs and strip clubs early on. But can you remember your first comedy booking?
My first comedy booking probably came in probably in Ohio, Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to Columbus, Ohio. When CDs used to be when they used to have CD stores, I used to just drive to Ohio just to steal CDs and shit. So I always like go to their town and shit. Shout out to Ohio. That was the first booking I ever had. This dude I knew that was, a street guy getting his money. He was doing this thing out there, so he brought a show out there, and I ended up staying for like at least 2 weeks. Man, I love Columbus, bro. It was crazy. It's college town.
Yeah,
Crazy
absolutely.
though, but yeah, Columbus,
Shout out
Ohio.
to Ohio State University, man. Maurice Claret of Ohio State fame.
Oh,
That's my baby.
That's my man.
That's my
That's
baby.
my man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
So throughout your years and throughout all the comedy experiences, you migrated to Hollywood. Why? I mean, it's almost a dumb question to ask, but why did you move to California? Why did you move into the LA area?
Because at the time, Dogface, I couldn't. Well, let me start by saying this. I wanted to be an actor more than I wanted to be a comedian. It was no way for me to act out here except for plays, and I did a few of those, but I wasn't getting what I wanted to get. I wanted to be in the movies that I was watching. So I felt like comedy was the closest thing I could get to acting, so I started doing comedy. But once I got a chance to act, I had to leave because it wasn't like I wanted to be in movies. So I was like, this before the Tubi wave and all that. I didn't see how I would get in movies if I stayed in Detroit. So I just left, went to LA, said, bump it, let's go. Okay. And I'm glad I did that because I know if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have never did what I wanted to do.
All right, I got you. So listen, it's a lot of controversy going on in the world of hip hop and the world of entertainment, black entertainment, right?
Yeah.
Right?
It's always that against us.
Yeah, got you. So listen, I have a couple of questions for you, bro. It's time to kind of like take this shit up a notch. Spanky Hayes, is Hollywood as strange of a place as it appears? And how much about the Hollywood experience that people who've never been there, but we hear stories. We hear stories and we read stories, right? How much of what we see and what we read and what we hear about what it's like for an up-and-coming comedian, an up-and-coming musician, an up-and-coming actor, how much of what we think is going on is really going on?
So you mean more so like the same sexness and
let's just stop fucking around. When you go to Hollywood and you pursuing stardom, whether it's music, comedy, acting, must you participate in alternative lifestyles in order to get said role? Or is there a way for you to maintain your manhood and still prosper in Hollywood? Because we hear all
I'm gonna say this,
especially at the Diddy. At the Diddy, we all bets off. You hear me?
Right. Well, I'm gonna say this in Diddy's defense. I've worked for Diddy several times. I've been on like maybe 2 of his CDs, the Forever CD, and I want to say the one when Biggie just died, No Way Out, I think, or something like that. And then I've hosted about 10 or better Diddy parties. Nick Cannon DJ'd them, and I was the host. This is when Wild 'N Out is at its peak. So this was around 2005 to 2010 was like but think about how many parties is in that 5 years, and this is when Diddy was throwing parties. If it's a Grammy event, Diddy got a party. If it's a Soul Train event, Diddy got a party. If it's a, what I'm saying, it's at that time when he was popping. But I gotta say, I never seen him do nothing like that. But again, I'm probably not his type. The way I dress, the way I look, the way I smell, You feel me? I'm
Right.
probably, I probably look kind of not like I'm going. So it's like, so he don't. So I've never ever seen him in that form. Now, towards me. Now, have I seen him talk like that to other people? Yeah. But I've never seen him talk to me personally like that. Actually, I've seen him talk to me and say, hold on a second, and then go into a whole nother motherfucker and then come back like, yeah, like you ain't see that. So, yeah, so I'm like, damn, all right, just keep your money on the bag, nigga. And he always paid me right. He always, but I'm going to say, I should be the example for actors and comedians that you will probably only go as far as I did. Hopefully, you could get a little further because things are more lenient. See, I still coming out the Scarface and the Snoop Dogg era. You know what I'm saying? That last of the real era. So that's when I was coming up. So it was still kind of hard for me. So now it's a lot easier. Hopefully, you don't have to suck no man dick or let him touch you on the head while you're on your knees. That's a better way to say it. But you know, for me, I never had to do that. So that's why I had to go ups and downs. My career being a roller coaster. But I loved every bit of it because I knew I was good and I knew I had relationships. And that's what I learned. You know, that instead of me being a mega star, I got this jewel in this relationships. Like nothing matters more in this business except for relationships. You can do a lot of shit more than you could do with money if you got the relationships. So that's
Got
what I learned out of it. You know what I'm saying? And it ain't over for me because I ain't no old nigga like that, and I've been off forever. It's like a nigga just got out of jail. I'm preserved. You feel me?
Got
I can just go right back in it. I just know what it takes. You know what I'm saying? And I was just trying to hope that it changed a little bit, or at least some of my friends got in bigger positions that I could come back in the game. But then, because it's all about who you know. So you know, but yeah, they a lot of I would say 86% of all black men in Hollywood that's actors and I'm just gonna say since my era. So I started in 90. So 96 I moved to LA. So from 96, right when Tupac died, I moved out there. In 96 to right now, I would say 86% of all actors and all rappers and all motherfuckers I met is like this.
It's gay.
I would say.
Wait, hold on, Spanky. You just said
80,
that
89%. I won't say every last one of them is, but I will say a lot of them are.
So listen. So you know when you say that almost 90% of the black men that you know who are operating in the Hollywood space, whether they were a comedian or actor or an entertainer, singer, rapper, you saying that almost 90% of them niggas really will put a dick in their mouth?
Or they'll dance with the thought, and to me, that's gay.
Oh yeah, because some shit just off limits psychologically. They see every
Right.
action is preceded by a thought. You hear me?
Exactly. So I'm thinking if it's premeditated, it's worse to me. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like, yeah. So if you even thought about it, if you couldn't sleep at night one night thinking, should I do this and get this big bag? Yeah, that means you gay. Yeah, you're gay.
Right. So listen, Spanky. Long before Shannon Sharp's Club Shay Shay, long before Cat Williams' appearance on that, which blew the whole fucking world, especially the world of comedy, up, right? Long
Right.
before that happened,
Right.
Spanky Hayes, there was a Spanky Hayes. Long before Cat Williams
Exactly.
ever outed the industry, there was you. So I'm just going to throw a couple of names out there because there are a couple of infamous incidents that you were involved in. I'm gonna throw a couple of these names out there, and then you tell me the where wires and hows of it. Tyrese,
Ooh.
why did you call brother Tyrese Mr. Emotional himself? He seems like such a wholesome black man. Why did you say Tyrese was a bone smuggler?
So before I answer that, when I said it and he respond, didn't he look like one?
Now
I
that you say it
mean,
like that, you hear me? Now when you
yeah,
make me go back and take a look at that shit, yeah, he did respond like a little bitch ass nigga.
I'm telling you. Listen, I was making a joke about it. You know what it was is I was, and it's funny we on podcast, and I was on a podcast then in L.A. Me and Bishop Don Juan. Bishop Don Juan is my dad. You know what I'm saying? And me and him was doing a podcast together, and then he gave me my own podcast. So, and that was long ago. So that footage, the original footage of me saying that, Tiffany Haddish was on the show. So you know what I'm saying? This is this is old. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so I was saying that we were saying that people in Hollywood who you think is gay. So I said, probably Tyrese, because he always crying every time I see him, and people don't never really say nothing good about him. I didn't personally know the dude, but you know, we've been on some auditions together. I seen him at a couple auditions, and I seen him a couple parties. You know what I'm saying? We in LA. When you in LA, you see everybody. It ain't nobody that you. I've seen Denzel thousands of times.
Hold on, bro. So listen. So are you saying that you are personally aware, or are you saying that based on his mannerisms and the way he acts and responds to different situations, that it leads you to believe or to conclude that he may be dipping it in sauce?
I would say at that time, yeah, the way people talk to him, the way people responded to him, like, you know, like this thing, he must be a fag or something. I was just thinking that. And then somebody asked me, and I said, they said, who you think a fag in Hollywood? And I said, probably Tyrese, because he be acting like a faggot when I see him out. And that's kind of how it started out personal. Then I had to say it. I'm gonna go back, Kobe. You ain't got no diaper on. It's okay, baby. Wait. I'm at work. My son. Shout out to all the kids and the babies out there.
And shout out to all the kids. So listen. So Nick Cannon in the Wild and Out. That's like that is when I first became aware of Spanky Hayes, right? When I saw you on Wild and Out, like listen, I'm gonna tell you something, right? Now that I sit here and think about your career and how many different things you've been involved in, even at that point in time, at your height, would you consider the Wild and Out experience the top of your whole comedy history, or is there something else, some other thing that you did that you would consider that had more exposure or presented more of an exposed platform than Wild Now? Because Wild Now is when I first became aware of you.
Well, I would say Wild and Out is the pinnacle of my whole thing because of the movies that I did and stuff that I did after that. It kind of came from Wild and Out. Yeah, okay, and I was doing comedy. I had did Comic View and Apollo and stuff like that, but Wild and Out had kind of set me aside from all of the other comedians because if you weren't on that show, you wasn't. Wild and Out was on TV every day, so it was like if you wasn't there, then you wasn't. We flew. We went to another planet. You know what I'm saying? Because we were on TV every day. I could have never imagined that.
Right.
You know,
so there are rumors that you were instrumental in the whole Wild and Out campaign in terms of its inception, the writing, all the behind the scenes comedic choreography activity. It is said that Spanky Hayes was an integral part of it. And although that people are trying to rewrite history and write you out of that. So what's true and what's not true about the Wild Now experience, and what was your relationship with Nick Cannon then, and what is it like now, if any?
Well, I'm gonna start backwards. We don't have a relationship now. I couldn't even tell you if he loved me still. I remember times when I knew he loved me. He was my brother. You know what I'm saying? He's still my brother. You know what I'm saying? It's just that we just feel like cousins now that never met. So at the time when I first met him, it was all love. And, you know, he was young. We was both like young comics, and you know, we was just making pacts like, whoever blow up first, we're gonna help each other. And then I came out here with a group called The Other Level. Five other Detroit comedians: Tony Roberts, Joe Blunt, Howie Bell, and Thomas Ward, who was already out in LA. And then we picked up a guy, Andre McCoy, who was already in LA. You had to be from Detroit to be in this group, the Other Level. And what we did was basically what Wild 'N Out does. We did singing, rapping, skits, but it was just four of us, sometimes five. And we hung around Nick Cannon. I taught Nick Cannon everything to know about comedy. When I first met him, he was a rapper, and his first manager, his name was Sam. Shout out to Sam. He's an Arabic guy who worked on cars, who stayed in San Diego, who managed Nick and would bring him to LA. And so when he couldn't get him on Soul Train or wherever else they was hustling, he would bring him to me. I stayed in the jungles. That's where Training Day was shot, over in that area.
Right.
And he brought him over there, and I would teach him how to do comedy because I was already doing it. And then, of course, him being younger and from there, that counts too. He got the deal first, and when he got the deal, I had to deal with The Other Level. Had to deal with Will Smith. Nick Cannon had to deal with Will Smith. Both of our deals fell through because whatever happened. And then I'm pretty sure that Will Smith told Nick Cannon, "Hey, take that idea and just go get the little guy. He's the one that run everything." So when Nick Cannon was shooting roll bounce with Bow Wow, I seen Nick Cannon slam Bow Wow on the ground with skates on because they was talking shit to each other. And Nick Cannon was, I felt like he did it because I was looking. But, because I was still a hood nigga then. I ain't made it yet. I haven't touched no Hollywood yet. I'm in Hollywood, but I ain't touched no Hollywood money yet. So, I guess he felt like he had to, but he slammed the shit out of Bow Wow. That's the end of that story.
So Nick Cannon roughhouse Bow Wow.
Oh, fucked him up real fast. He was talking shit. Bow Wow was he had just sold out Mississippi in 1 hour. He was on the radio talking shit, and he sold out this arena in 1 hour. So he was walking around skating and shit, talking about, nigga, I sell out arenas. Y'all niggas ain't doing that. Nick Cannon got mad. He had an album on it. He was rapping. I think, he just had brought that his first album out, and he was kind of teasing him because he wasn't selling, and Nick Cannon slammed him. But anyway, Nick Cannon brought me to the trailer, and he was like, "Yo, he go this bread right here. I think it was like, it was like a 20-pack or some shit." And he was like, "Look," I was like, "Man, what's this for?" And he was like, "Yo, we about to do this movie, man. I mean, this TV show." And I was like, when? He was like, "Soon, it's gonna be on MTV." And I was like, "Wow, MTV? Like, okay." And I was like, "What's this show about?" And he said, "It's the same shit y'all do, except just me and you gonna do it. And then we're gonna get a cast of other people to do it." And I said, "Well, what about them? You don't want to bring them up?" And he was like, "Nah, this is your show." So being the starving artist that I was, what would you say? What would you do? So he stole it. He paid me to be on it. He didn't pay me for it, because if he'd have paid me for it, because a lot of people ask me, why didn't you just sue him and because he broke me off. We friends. Because I know he was broke too. He was new in his deal. So I wasn't like pocket watching him, so I ain't know how much he got on his deal. All I know is this nigga gave a poor motherfucker 20 bands and flew me out there and everything. And I ain't have to do shit. It wasn't no show involved at the time. He'd go just 20 bands. I ain't have to sign no paperwork, nothing. He'd go 20 bands, nigga. But it came with the message. We about to steal that show though.
Do you ever look back when you look back at that thing? Did you ever get any flack from the other guys who were part of the original Detroit group? Did you ever get say, what the fuck, Spank? This guy stole our idea. What's happening with you?
I used to hear it every day, bro. A few of them stayed with me. A lot of the time of my success, even the highest height part, a lot of them stay with me. Um, not the whole time, but back and forth, back and forth. I was the only one that was on. But then I would need them for writers too. Like I was still trying to get them some money. Like come to the set, man. Get this writer check, man. They get in. Don't just be mad about it. Come get in. I'm in. I just can't hold your hand, bring you to the gate, but nigga, come go. And a lot of them wouldn't go. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them, few did, but a lot of them didn't. You know, they
So
didn't kind of support it.
why do you think a lot of them didn't? What was the issue? Why? I mean, the show was obviously successful right out the gate. They could see the
Right.
success you were having. They could see the circles that you started to move in. So, what do you think
Right.
was that made the whole thing just something that they felt they couldn't do?
I don't know, man. That's a good question, right? Because I would say if I'm wearing their shoes, I would probably just feel like, man, you know, I created this too. You know, this should be mine too. And I get that. I get that. I was never mad about that. That's why I never said no to nobody. Because I was trying to get them in, you know what I'm saying? And the only way I could get them in was to write for me. And they felt like that was beneath them or however they felt. But it didn't matter because we all went out there together and we caught the Greyhound out there together and ate sandwiches off each other and feel me and shared steaks and stole steaks and everything. Like we did all that shit together. So I had to look out for them the best way I could, you know.
Got you. I
Yeah.
got you. So, as Wild Out turned to the amazing success that it was, and there are still some remnants of Wild Out that still exist right now. Do you think that you and Nick Cannon, do you think there can ever be um, any, 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 any resolution to whatever the issues are that exist between you and him? Do you think you and Nick Cannon could ever get back on the same page, or could ever get back on the same page?
That's Nick's decision because Nick is the one holding all the cards. I'm comfortable in my life. Of course, everybody wants more. Of course, if I was working more, I'll have more because it's the only I have the job, and now you're entering the same kind of job that the only way we make money is to work. We have to work to make money. So it's always great to have more work. Hell yeah. So, and I'm not above apologizing. I say it right now, Nick Cannon, if I ever say anything about you that made you feel a certain way, first of all, nigga, you know me. But I apologize, you know. But at the same time, I don't apologize to everybody, but I apologize to Nick Cannon.
Okay, I got you. Um, how much? So, how much idea stealing goes on in Hollywood? Because now I want to get into like the actual Hollywood shit. How much do you have to safeguard your ideas and your concepts when it comes
Yeah.
to show creations and ideas? How much
Yeah.
stealing takes place for real? Because we hear a lot of that shit happens. If you don't get your shit, even if you have your shit copyright, or even if you have your shit published,
Right.
motherfuckers will still steal that shit. Or if they don't steal it from you, they would clone your idea and create something a little bit different than what you had, and then produce it to the world. How much of that really happens?
High 80s, low 90%. It's almost safe to say that if you meet a celebrity kind of person and you're not a celebrity, it's because they heard you say something that they want to steal, and they just want to get cool with you to see if you say anything else that they might want to steal. What's your ideas? Do you halfway got it right? If this copywritten, it's not copywritten, then I'm gonna steal it. They steal. That's what they do. The whole thing is stealing, stealing, stealing. Nobody's 90 like a whole like most of the shit you heard in this industry from ears to eyesight, and you think who the person who gets the credit for it is always a person behind there that was less paid who thought all of that shit.
Got you. Did you see another question that might be stupid to some? But did you see Cat Williams' appearance on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp?
I did. I did. Shout out to Cat Williams. That's my brother, man. That's my brother.
How much of what Cat Williams divulged in that interview was right and exact?
Well, it's hard for me to criticize his truth, right?
Huh?
So what he feel is true, and what I get from seeing him and being around him those years and a lot of those times he spoke upon, because me and Kat has been tight since the Grinch, the Jim Carrey's Grinch came out, like in the theaters. So we've been super tight since then. So I've seen him have nothing to have a whole lot of everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I always question it, like, wow, what are you doing? Uh, but I think a lot of it, people steal, man. People steal, man. People fucking steal, bro. Like the bigger the person is, the more they steal.
And they
So
steal because in order to stay relevant in Hollywood, you have to have fresh ideas and fresh concepts to
right.
present to somebody or to offer to somebody to keep yourself at the highest level of involvement in those productions. Um,
Yeah, but listen, but here's this too. So if you do comedy, now you're doing comedy shows. If
yeah,
I see one of your jokes and steal one of your jokes and I do a special or go take it on TV, then that's my joke.
right. Right. I mean, because whoever becomes most popular for having said that, or whoever is most
Exactly.
popular who says this thing, that
Yeah.
joke becomes associated with them. And even though they may have stolen it from you last night at a local
Right.
comedy club, but
Or,
they
or bought it from you. Like, let me
bought it
buy
from you.
that joke from you, bro. How much you
Right.
want for that joke?
How
All
much?
right.
So listen. How much does a good joke? How much do jokes get sold for?
I've sold a page of jokes that maybe had like 8 concepts on it for about 10 bands.
Really? So
But
that
this is
is
to
real
a high
cheap.
end. This was to a high end comedian though. But
Right.
on the regular street level, see you in the club, nigga. I like that joke because I bought a joke from Jay Will before.
Mhm.
Before, hey dog, I like that joke, dog. That go with something I already kind of say. What you want for it? Nigga, just give me a pair of shoes or something. All right, bet. Or what you want right now? Give me a 50 ball. Give me a whatever. It depends on the person, man, how you fuck with them. Because if a comedian come up to me that I don't like or don't know, say that, man, get the fuck out of here. But
Right.
if I got love for you, I might be like, nigga, what you got? Yeah, take that shit. Just let me write it down so I don't say it no more. Or
Right.
hurry up and say it so I won't say it. Let me see you say it, then I don't, because I don't like to steal. I came up, listen, here's another point. You almost have to steal until you get an identity, until you know what funny is, until you know how to, like Downtown Tony Brown, he was the rest in peace. He was the greatest person in the world to steal from because he said something new every single show. He didn't have like a set 10 jokes that he said. He would say, if he told 10 jokes, it would be all 10, 4 times. We have 4 different shows. He would have 4 different hours. Like this dude was phenomenal. Nobody in history was like that. Probably Red Fox, but that's it. Eddie Murphy ain't like that. Richard Pryor could be like that. That ain't my era, but I just idolize him. But from with my own eyes, listen to me. When I first met Eddie Griffin, I said, I'm from Detroit. He said, Downtown Tony Brown. I said, damn. I was thinking, damn, do he know how sweet he is? Well, first met Eddie Griffin. He was like, oh yeah, that's Downtown Tony Brown. I said, damn. I said, all right. And that go back to what I was saying earlier. People don't treat you good when you come back to Detroit, man. Downtown Tony Brown was a fucking legend, bro. It don't matter what that he, dabbled in drugs, because shit, I had my moments when I did. Not no cracking no shit. I used to do, powder. I used to fuck with the powder, but I'm a rich nigga. Rich niggas don't do smoke crack. You know what I'm saying? They do powder. But I had my experiences with that. But, you know, Downtown Tony Brown was like really into that. That was his world. You know what I'm saying? He
Yes.
couldn't come back to normalness. And I always hurt my feelings when I think about him because he was a genius, man. And speaking of buying jokes, the last time I talked to Tony Brown, uh, he was hanging around my mom's place somewhere. She lives in an old folks home. So she kept telling me, I see your friend that you introduced me to a long time ago downtown. I think his name Tony. I was like, Downtown Tony Brown? I was like, next time you see him, let me talk to him. So she put him on the phone with me, and I said, "How you doing, Tony?" And he was like, "Man, I ain't doing so good." And I said, "Man, I seen you some money, man. If you give me some of them jokes." And then he said, "Yeah, man. All right, we could talk about that." And I gave him my number, and we talked about it. And I sent him a couple dollars, not a whole lot, a couple dollars, couple hundred, like 500-600. And I said, "I'll send you some more." Because the deal was for 1,000. I sent him 1,000 and he gave me like, 10, 12 jokes. And I sent him some money and then he died after that. I didn't get a chance to send him the rest. So
Right.
sometimes I be feeling like I made him like that.
Mm.
Because I sent him some money. You feel me?
Uh-huh.
On
Yeah,
some
but
real shit.
you can't take responsibility for
Yeah.
that, bro, because it wasn't on
No,
you.
I know.
You sent him some
But
money to do what you had to do, and it could have been that, or it could have been just survive and just getting something to eat.
right.
Let's talk about Mike Epps. You and Mike Epps had a really, really great relationship once upon a time. Are the rumors true that in Mike Epps' early development that he slept on your floor? Is that true? Or was that just some shit people made up?
No, he slept on my couch for like 2 years probably. While he was getting it, well, no, maybe like a year and a half. I give him that. But for a long time though, he said, and I stayed with a girl at the time, so he slept on my floor, and that girl was, boy, that girl, that girl, ugh, Lord have mercy, she was going crazy on Mike. She did not like Mike because Mike had a little problem, a little drug problem at the time,
Mhm.
and he would always be fishing. And I wasn't like that, so I had to always wake up in the middle of the night, defend, be on tip all the time, because he fucked up. You know what I'm saying? I don't even know what he thinking. But then and then he met Ice Cube. We met Ice Cube together. Actually, I had met Ice Cube before, and then when he ran into Mike, I ran back into him. If it wasn't for, shout out to Ice Cube. If it wasn't for Ice Cube, I wouldn't be inside. I wouldn't be able to talk like this to people. If it wasn't for Ice Cube, he wanted me to be in Players Club, but he had already hired AJ Johnson, rest in peace, AJ Johnson, Ezel, that was on Friday. He had already hired him to be the doorman, and I guess something wasn't working out, so he had me in the backups and got me papered up and everything. He got me on SAG and After. At that time, it was two different companies. Now SAG and After is one, but at that time, you had to be in SAG and in After. So he did all of that for me. I didn't get that gig, but man, he put me in the game. Shout out to Ice Cube. But and then Mike Epps was hating on me, bro. He was gonna put me in the same Friday that Mike Epps was in. When Michael Rappaport came to the door and gave him the eviction notice, he was gonna have me do that. And how I know that, because years later I seen Ice Cube and he said, "Oh man, Spanky, what's going on with you and Mike Epps, man?" He was like, "I had to pay that motherfucking white dude triple the amount of money I was gonna pay you." And I was like, damn. So that let me know that was, and then a few times in the industry, people would say, he was, you know, biting my back, bro. Like, come on, bro. What are you
So
doing?
why do you think? What happened when you look at, based on what you're saying, when you look at the help that you gave him early on when he came to Hollywood? What do you think happened that would make him do something like that? Did you guys fall out? What was the backstory of that?
Because he didn't want me to, okay, so again, we was in the group, the other level. So that's who got signed. Okay, so he signed to Marcus King. Marcus King is Jamie Foxx manager. I'm not sure if he's still Jamie Foxx manager, but he was at the end of Jamie Foxx show, you'll see King Management. So Mike Epps had signed to King Management, and then our group, the other level, signed to King Management at the same time.
Mhm.
So he was a little mad that I was coming up too. So he thought he was just getting off the couch, about to blow up, be the big man, then he get to talk big shit. No, I'm coming right with you. And I got a team. So he was just really mad. And then plus Mike would take a lot of jokes from me. Like the fat girl's time, he took that
Mhm.
from me. And he did it first in a movie. So imagine that. So he wanted to do it before I got a chance to do it. He wanted to take from me what he liked about me and do it before I got to do it.
That's crazy, man.
But I don't blame him though, because all of them is like that though.
Yeah, but
All of
here's the thing though, Spank. The thing about it is that Mike Epps, he presents himself. Now he does say that he does admit that he's a flawed person. He's had bouts with drug usage and other things, but outside of that, Mike Epps presents himself as if he's always operated in a way that was beyond some of the small petty things that you see or hear about happening in Hollywood. And then he always shows an affinity or a love for the city of Detroit, right? So now that you're telling me stories like this, it makes me question: is it all the act, or is he really?
Well, he went to Job Corps in Detroit. That's where he gets it from. That's where it stems off with Mike Epps. We had several talks about this. He went to Job Corps. He explained how niggas used to rock the suitcase, not the briefcase. The briefcase,
right?
You know what I'm saying, with damn near nothing in it, but they just carrying the
Right.
briefcase. And, we used to always laugh about that. The campaign hats with the top tens. He knows that, Detroit. So and I'm like, yeah, all right, whatever. And when we fell out, he would always get Detroit people because he was trying to say fuck you, Spanky. And that's why when he got the place in Detroit that I didn't go to it, the Mike Epps Club or whatever day it is, whatever.
One Mike.
Yeah, the one Mike. I headlined that place the week before it closed down. Because me and Mike I didn't even want to be in Mike Epps' club. I didn't fuck with him like that. Now, it's been times, and it's documented, it's been on times that I seen Mike Epps in Vegas one time. He was gambling, and I had about 12 dudes with me. He had about 4 or 5 with him, and they couldn't even gamble seeing me. It'd be on. Every time we see each other, we'd look at each other like, yo, what's up? What's good? We've been fighting for years. 20 years we've been fighting. Because I know he been shitting on my name, and I blame him for not having all the shit I should have, but he's one of them. I think really, dog fan, I'm gonna keep it real. I think many of days, Cap Williams and Kevin Hart and Nick Cannon and Mike Epps, they all call each other on 3-way, and they all ask about me. And they all say, who's seen him lately? Where he at? Look at his Instagram. Track him down. See what he doing. See how he doing. They've been trying to hold me back because they all have stole from me. But they think I don't got more, though. That's the thing. That's what's crazy. But I had to shut down. I shut myself down because I was getting too mad. I was about to probably execute one of them niggas, bro. On some real shit. But I had to stop being mad, bro. I had to go to God, bro. And I had to learn that God told me to forgive. And if I forgive, I have a better life. Because for probably about a dub, bro, I was furious every day about that wilding out shit in my just career in general. I was just too good and outspoken for them. And they was getting high to do what I'm doing naturally. You feel me?
Got you. So let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question about Hollywood. So there's a lot of secrets in Hollywood, or there's a lot of things that happen in Hollywood that the general public don't know. Can you talk about some of the things that would be shocking to people if they knew or if they understood it to be true? What are some of the craziest Hollywood stories that you either have been involved in or know about happening?
Wow. It's so many, man. It's so many, bro. I've been in parties
that was burnt into your consciousness that you couldn't believe it, or you were just outdone when you saw it.
I'm gonna keep it real, man. This is we can go heavy here, but when I first seen Carl Lewis, the runner, I think he was the Olympian. When I first seen him, I looked at him and I was like, this dude is a fruitcake. The way he was standing, and I was like, what? I was like, oh no. I couldn't believe it, dog. And then the first time I seen Bobby Brown, he was so high that he couldn't possibly remember me or even being around him. And they wouldn't let him in the club. And he crawled over the gate to jump in the club. And I'll never forget, he had a white suit on and it was all dirty because he fell in the mud and all that. He was still partying, bro. It was just so much like malfunction shit that I see, bro. Like one time, God, I hope I don't get banned for this. One time I was at a party and I won't say his name, but I will say, I might say his name. I walk in the club. Not a club. We at a house party. I walk in this room looking for the bathroom, and I see a guy raise his head up, but his mascara was running. And I see another dude, and I'm like, whoa. But then I see a girl, but the girl is looking like, help. So I just shut the door. I ain't know what to do.
Hey, you gonna now think? So you trying to say now? I ain't trying to be messy. Maybe I am.
Right. Okay.
Who Spank? Come on now, Spank. Come on with these motherfucking details now.
I would just say one of his songs is Unpredictable. See some shit you seen before. That's all
Jamie
I'm saying.
That's Jamie Foxx. Now, come on now. You gonna stop playing on this show. Spanky, hey, you gonna stop this shit now. Now, Jamie Foxx. Yeah. Now, look here now.
Now listen.
I need you to take that back. Because you ain't seen Jamie.
No.
You should know skullduggery.
Now, I didn't see what they was doing. I only saw the reaction of the door opening. But I will say,
one is two in China,
and somebody mascara was like running. I noticed that because I was thinking, what the fuck could cause that? And I seen another dude who an actor, and I seen a girl. And the only thing about that is the girl is the only person I didn't know who it was. Now, I'm not saying they was taking advantage of her. I think that she was there on some shit and some other shit started happening and she ain't know how to react to it. So they probably say, don't leave, stay right here. And she probably was looking at some shit. Whoa. So I can't honestly say I've seen him sucking the dick, but I will say when I opened the door,
he was in a dick sucking position.
I just seen this.
Okay, so from a mathematical equation standpoint, the position and curvature of his body was one that suggests that he had a dick in his mouth.
Or they was trying to double team her. Which it didn't look like that though.
Spanky, hey, listen, let's move on, bro, because I ain't got the stomach for that shit. I ain't got the stomach. There's too much shit getting my motherfucking nerves bad.
I'm trying to tell you.
Listen, bro. Listen, after Diddy, after everything has come out with the whole Diddy situation, right? Who knew that hip hop had so much homosexuality in it? I didn't know, because we look at hip hop like it's a male chauvinist, a machismo, macho type shit. Who knew?
Exactly.
We knew that Queen Latifah was heavy D, maybe, right? But besides
that, Heavy D wasn't though. That was my man. No, he wasn't.
Well, why you say Heavy D was taking?
I would say, if anything, he played the game, but I wouldn't say he was a gay man.
Yeah, but we ain't never seen Heavy D with no girl. He was with Salt and Pepper.
Yeah, but Heavy D had all the girls.
Oh, he had all the girls. Overweight Lover had all the girls, huh?
Yeah.
Oh hell,
Heavy D
okay,
was solid, man. Heavy D was solid. Heavy D was a
okay,
recipe solid. Yeah, he was
okay.
solid, man.
So listen, when you heard the rumors that there was a transgender in Biggie Small's video, right?
I seen it.
You've seen it. So
Yeah.
so let me switch speeds for a second. So why we're hearing that Diddy was a monster and that he was
Right.
involved with grotesque shit known to man for 20 plus
So
years.
that was his partner. That was Diddy's partner. That's why he
Uh-huh.
kept showing up in Diddy's video. That was Diddy's partner.
Really?
Yeah.
So listen, Spanky. I have a question. This is a serious question too, bro. If
Right.
so Diddy, from the way he's being paid now, was a serial sexual deviant / predator.
I would
So
say.
and after he got indicted, before he got indicted, motherfucker was afraid to say anything. Once he got indicted, you start hearing all these stories about all the sexual escapades and all the illicit behavior that he was involved in. You start hearing it
Yeah.
after, right? Because I guess
Right.
they thought that he was going to be taken off the equation for permanently, right?
I think so.
Why wasn't he exposed inside the industry? Why did it take something like that, him being indicted? Cassie basically took him down, right? Out of all the
Right.
young boys and men and young women that they say he took advantage of, why didn't anybody speak up or speak out? Why wasn't he met head on by
Right. And then look and let's look at it this way. I don't even think Cassie pushed the gas on that. I think it was Cassie's husband who pushed the gas on that.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? Like, no, bitch, I gotta be with a bitch that everybody had, and niggas making fun of me, and no, hell no, bitch. We getting to this nigga. So
got it.
that's my thought of that on that. But I just think that he just took care of so many people, man, that I think that people was depending on him. So
So
they
hold
just
on now.
did what
So
they
you
had to do.
did with
I
the
know it sounds weird, but I never did that. But I'm just saying, I could just see it because when he walk around, he got like 8 people with him. When he go do this, he's 12 people over there. Except he never was by himself. He always was with a crowd. And you know he paying for everything that's happening. So
Mhm.
I just see that people got dependent on that and just was like, I don't care. Whatever he going to do, fuck it. I got a house and shit like that. And all that. I think people
Yeah,
just
so Spanky.
sacrifice.
Who knew that so many black men of power and status and fame, who knew we didn't know that they were
Right.
brother. I'm telling you, the general public, after all this shit that we're hearing in Diddy, we get it that Diddy was a motherfucker with his shit. We get it, right? But
Right.
in order for
Right.
Diddy to be what he was, do you know how many people people of status and power and influence inside of the black entertainment scene? Do you know how many people had to turn a blind eye and a deaf ear to all this shit that was going on? Why didn't black people who had, if not as much power as Diddy, but who had power independent of him and who could have spoke up about all of the terrible shit that he was alleged to have done? Why didn't
Right.
more people in power speak up and speak out against the Diddy's, the Russell Simmons, the Busta
Right.
Rhymes, the
Because it's a written rule in Hollywood to not to tell. See, I didn't read that part of it. So I'm one of the first dude. I ain't the only dude. And I wasn't the first dude. I'm just the first dude of my generation that spoke against it. Like, nah, man, that's some fag shit. I don't because my heart was broke. I thought it was about talent. Nobody ever told me, hey man, this ain't about talent. This is about if I knew what it was, then I probably wouldn't have been as hurt. But the way I found out was like, oh, it was crushing. So we been new. People like me, I've been new. I've been through all of that. I just couldn't say nothing. And then remember this, before social media and everything got so popular that just the word of mouth that stood on how you feel about the nigga. So if the wrong nigga tell you the right thing, you ain't listening.
Mm-hmm.
So until social media came out, and it's the same way, but they just believe it more because you spend so much time on, doing presenting it, so they might listen to it more.
Gotcha.
But we people in Hollywood been through that.
Right.
We just was
So
walking on eggshells.
the perfect segue is what you just brought up to social media. How has the advent and the growth of social media, how has it affected the world of comedy? Has it been a good thing or a bad thing? Because you have comedians now who are considered comedians who have no stand-up experience whatsoever, but they are more popular in some respects than traditional stand-up comedy club or comedy special comedians. Has social media been a good thing or a bad thing for the world of comedy?
It's a bad thing for if you was already famous, but it's good because fame comes easier. First of all, fame and money don't never. It's not the same thing. It ain't even the same planet. They offer you. That's what they offer you: the money or the fame. A hustler would think I'll take the fame and just make money off the fame, but it don't work like that. So you get the money and then they tell you to sit down. And you don't see the motherfuckers no more. Or you say, no, I want the fame, and then you all over the place, but you broke. The nigga who took the money got more money than you, and he ain't even did shit. So to me, social media fucked up the game because now a regular person with no personality, no game, no nothing, just rocking whatever else on the internet can be an internet sensation now. When I was coming up, you had to sleep on niggas' couches, you had to be friends with niggas, you had to go to New York, Baltimore, Boston, whoever, wherever, everywhere to get on. Now you just sit in front of your TV or sit in front of your phone and you do comedy, and when you get on the microphone, you suck. So but it's a few comedians that have went through the fire. DC Young Fly, I definitely show love to DC Young Fly. That's the little homie. That's the little bro. We in this wild and out fraternity. Even if I don't like it or love it, I'm in this fraternity. I started the fraternity, but and he's a part of that. So I always gonna give love to him. Outside of him, it's different people that I see and I can say I've seen them before, but I don't know their name because I just don't. I'm so against the Drewski niggas and all them. They cool, but nah. I don't fuck with social media comedians like that because now they weaken. It's like love. Niggas say they love you, nigga. They rob you. So to me, comedian is like a word that niggas say, but they don't mean it. You know what I'm saying? Like, cause you could easily be a comedian. You know what I'm saying? But you put up 5 videos, and now you can say I'm a comedian. I know a guy who puts comedy in his handles, and this nigga ain't a comedian. So for me to been doing comedy all this time is disrespectful to me, and it's all fake. It's all of them apps was made and designed for the regular person to feel like a star,
Yeah,
and
I
people
agree.
who use it, yeah, yeah.
I
So
agree.
people who really benefit off of it, I can't be mad at you. But just the regular common folk, you know what I'm saying? That's weird to me
I
because I
got you.
really do this shit.
Now, Spanky, you have been outspoken and you have been at the forefront of a lot of things that have kind of like sparked. Before there was a Cat Williams talking this shit, there was a Spanky Hayes
Yeah,
who was unabashed and unashamed and unafraid to speak his truth, right? Even if
well,
speaking that truth put him in an uncomfortable situation or put him in a situation where he lost money or he lost the possibility of getting money or getting a position. But Spanky, you did an interview and you took a shot at the mighty Tubi world. Now,
right.
before you had to have known, were you unaware of Detroit's position with Tubi? Were you unaware of how impactful and how helpful Because we talk
Yeah.
about independent filmmakers
Right.
who had a shot to make films absent the big box Hollywood type of production houses giving them green lights. These are people who spent 10, 15, 20 grand, 5, 6 grand on movies. So Detroit is like the ground zero for Tubi, independent film production and being distributed through Tubi, and also actors or actors who entered the world of film production through non-traditional means. Right?
I
You
get it.
say Tubi. Is it true that you said that Tubi actors are not real actors?
I said that.
You
I said
did
that.
say that.
I did say that. And let me
Okay.
tell you why. And let me say this first. Shout out to Tubi though. Shout out to everybody that's gaining from it. Shout out to the producers and the directors and the money niggas behind it, the niggas that really work at Chrysler, but they put their couple thousand with this nigga, other nigga from Chrysler. I get it. It's hustling. But from where I stand in the game is I'm past the hustling. This is like really my life. So everything I do, I get paid from it. So this is why I'm saying Tubi actors ain't real actors, because they need to be in a union, which gets them money every time they perform. They need to be in a union, so if they get hurt on the set, they can go right to the doctor and get taken care of. It's just for their protection. How they took it is like I'm saying, no, fuck you. Da, 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 da. I am saying that if you just for no reason, I'll just say fuck a nigga. But I'm saying if you ain't hearing what I'm saying, then you are already being too defensive. See, to me, a lot of shit in Detroit when it comes to show business, this D to me means delusional. A lot of people in this Detroit, Michigan show business, first of all, it's not a show business state at all. But we make it into that because we hustlers. We get money because we got awful jobs that pay a lot. So we get used to the awful job and we get all of this money that we can't never spend because we always at work. And then now something like a movie could come along, I could put a couple dollars in and make some money because we hustling. That's cool, but where I'm at on the side of the game is it's real, like you mentioned, $5,000-6,000. To me, a extra will get that in a movie. Where I'm standing in the game, you know what I'm saying? A person who don't even speak in a movie would get $6,000. Now to take the course of the time, you know what I'm saying, to finish the movie and stuff. But it's too low budget of thing. It's like inspiring. They're all inspiring. I'm inspiring to do stuff. I'm inspiring to be the comedian I once was and better. They're inspiring to be real actors. So to me, I don't care if you did 30 Tubi movies, you're not a real actor. But you're in the G League and you're starting and you're playing. And once something major happens and they need somebody, they're gonna pick you.
Were
But
you
I'm
were
past
you
that.
surprised? Were you surprised at the blowback that you received once that statement came once it came out that you said that? Were you surprised at how
Yeah.
the whole Tubi world and Detroit filmmakers were so critical of you? Were you surprised at the criticism that you received?
Not so much surprised because I knew somebody was gonna say something about that. But I just stood my ground. I stood on business. And I kept saying the same thing over and over. If you don't do this and this not happening, that's not happening, that's not real. So you can pretend it's real in your mind, but to me, just like you can play basketball, but you walk up to Stephen Curry, why would you even mention that if he don't know you from that? Oh, I play basketball too. Oh, that's good. He probably asked somebody, man, get this motherfucker away from me. So you know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, dog, that's practice. Again, I've done Tubi movies. So that's practice. That's tune-up work. That's a fight before the big fight. In my eyes.
Mhm. Right. So so I know so many people who operate in the world of Tubi. It would be remiss of me if I didn't ask. So because a person isn't in the screenwriter in SAG, right?
Right.
And because a person doesn't have their paperwork like a rapper. You have rappers who have had hit records and didn't have any publishing together, so they couldn't enjoy everything that came with on the back end of the actual music of the business side of things, right? But that didn't mean that they were nevertheless not a good actor or not an actor because they didn't have their paperwork together. So are you saying that solely because people who are to be actors by and large are not a part of SAG, that solely determines the SAG membership determines whether you are a real actor or not?
Because it's different to the game. Again, like sports. You know what I'm saying? So to me, if you don't have your game right, you just good for nothing. Which means you're practicing, which means you're inspiring. It's nothing wrong with what I'm saying.
Mm-hmm.
People just gotta grasp onto it. Like, this is the realest shit I can say to a motherfucker. Now, are they good? Shit. Is this people better than me? I'm sure. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying I'm the greatest actor in the world. I'm just saying I'm a real actor. So don't come talking that Hollywood shit to me unless you really know what you're saying. Don't really come talk that movie business shit with me unless you know what you're saying. Because I'm gonna be like, no, I'm not doing a movie for $5,000, nigga. I'm not doing that. I get that a day, more than that a day. So I'm just at a different level. You got to pay me. If I'm going to do your Tubi movie, you got to pay me like it's a real movie. Because here's another thing, Dogface, that people don't understand. Because you are so now that you're in the union, I can't really do Tubi movies unless I get paid that amount. Because when it comes out, hopefully it's successful. And then when it gets successful, or even let's just say it moves to another place like a Peacock or Amazon. So that's SAG union. So once they go and read the cast and all that and see that a SAG union person is in a non-union movie. So how did he get this movie? Who handled this? It's like a case. Oh, you owe us money for that. So basically what I'm saying is I would have to pay them for doing a Tubi movie. So it don't make sense for me to do it. If I got to pay somebody else to be in your movie, and I'm gonna have to pay more than you pay me, that don't make sense.
I get it.
Again, that's different levels.
I get it.
You feel me?
I get it.
Because Dennis Reed, I was talking on the phone with Dennis Reed. Dennis Reed, cool guy. I was talking to him a lot of times. He offered me a few movie roles. He was looking out for me. Like, he was trying his best to look out for me. I'm not shitting on none of these things. Diesel, that's my dog. That's my family, dog. He reached out and called me like, nigga, is you pranking or is you Tekashi 6ix9ine right now? What's going on? I'm like, no, bro, you gotta hear what I'm saying. I know you mad about what I said, but listen to what I'm saying. But then I go back to what I'm saying to you, Dogface. How niggas feel about you is how they receive your messages.
Of course.
So if a nigga feel like you ain't shit anyway, then you ain't supposed to say that. So that go back to Detroit people don't support their own people. That's why a nigga like Big Sean, and I ain't speaking for Big Sean, but a nigga like Big Sean get his success and move to LA and don't even come back until his success is kind of going down where he need to. You dig what I'm saying? So because they don't support you here. They don't support you. I didn't know that Michael Peel from Key and Peele was from Detroit. I met him years ago. I didn't know he was from Detroit. I was like, damn, you from Detroit? He was like, yeah, man, they don't support me there. Nobody supports people in Detroit. So when they leave, they don't ever want to come back because they know if they got to come back, they're not going to get the support. They're not the Detroit people, and I'm sorry if I'm being fucked up, but I'm from Detroit. I feel like I speak on Detroit.
Let me stop you, brother. First of all, this is a place of open conversation. This is a place of truthful speech. So this ain't one of them kind of places you can't say, nigga, you can say what the fuck you want to say on this motherfucker. As long as you can back it up and articulate a reasonable explanation behind what you're saying, I'm gonna let you say it. I don't fucking agree with it or not.
Come on. So I'm going back to that. The promoters, y'all be fucking over the Detroit comedians, man. You got the talent right here, bro. Right here. Y'all rather spend your money on these out of town dudes that come to Detroit and you put a Jay Will or you'll put a Josh, Adams on there to open up, and these Detroit cats is cleaning their clock. It's because you ain't looking at what's really here. And that was the problem before I left. That was the problem. Like the Detroit promoters never grew up like that. Y'all got the homegrown right here, man. Start fucking with your own comedians, actors, rappers that's right here. Detroit rap is the hottest rap in the fucking universe right now. How they not? I don't see nobody having no shows around here since I've been coming back and forth. I don't see few people have shows, but I don't see why they don't have a gang. Sada Baby always got a show, but all these rappers, they don't have shows like that. I don't understand that. Because Detroit people don't support, man. Niggas don't even know I was from Detroit, bro. That's because niggas from Detroit never supported me. When I started getting my shit on, I'm hollering at comedians that's here. They trying to act like, dog. Here go a perfect example. When I first moved to LA, dog, I seen Tupac in the car. My first day there, September 3rd, 1996. I'll never forget it. I get there. I see Tupac within the same hour of being there, bro. Within the same hour. This is how I knew this is where I was supposed to be at. So I see this nigga, Rolls Royce, drop top. He got the 100 spokes on it, ghettoed out. He got the Outlaws in the car with him. I'm like, damn. I call my boy in Detroit. Hey, nigga, look, dog. This when the blurps. This right before this right before that.
Right.
So it wasn't no camera phones or even no picture phones then.
Mm-hmm.
It was just only cell phones. You only could talk. And dog, I called the nigga. I said, dog, I just seen Tupac. The nigga hung up on me, bro. He couldn't believe it.
Straight for you.
Yeah. And then he hit me back later. Why was you lying like that? Nigga, I'm not there. I'm in California. Why you think I don't see niggas? And to go back to Tupac, I seen Tupac 2 times before he died. Twice. I seen him September 3rd. Then I seen him the same night of the fight in Vegas, pacing around, mad. So I'm in my mind, it was right after they stomped my man's out. So they walking around pacing like he mad. He cussing out everybody. So I ain't speak to him that time because I was like, nah, that nigga ain't gonna remember me. But dog, I seen Pop twice, bro. I seen him the same night he died. The same night. Ain't that crazy? I was at the party when Biggie died. I was at the party. They was playing My Detroit player. My Detroit, that's before Hypnotized came out. And me and my niggas was like, oh, we gotta go in there. They playing Detroit shit. They on some Detroit shit. So we stayed in line about 4 hours, bro. 4 hours trying to get in that party. By the time we seen all the people coming out, that's when they told everybody they had to leave. And then we seen everybody coming out, but we stayed right there. That nigga drove around the corner, and then we heard the shots. As soon as he drove around the corner, we heard the shots.
Got you.
Like I was right there, bro.
I got a question for
there.
You. You lived in LA for so many years. You had to have come in contact with Whack 100. I call him Whack Keisha because he acted like a little bitch ass nigga. But that's just me. Okay. So have you what experience, if any, do you have with this bitch ass nigga? And are you aware of what's going on with the paper accusations and the fake paperwork that he put out on a fellow Detroit T Grizzly? Are you aware of that?
I heard a lot about that, and I'm gonna be honest. I thought that he was the police. When I first met him, he was doing some business with Nick. I was just getting back on the Wild 'N Out tour. They was touring, and we was, I think, on the West Coast somewhere. I think I want to say Vegas. It might have been somewhere Bay or something like that. But Game was on the show, and that's how I met Whack. And he already kind of knew who I was. I didn't know who he was. And we started talking, and then I just kept thinking he was the police or something. And then, if you didn't know this, I'm the only person on the internet before y'all start beefing of shutting him up because we was on Clubhouse and we was talking about the Nick Cannon shit and how I was demonstrating how he, Nick Cannon had stole the show from me. And he was talking shit and I named the name, the dude that he was trying to do business with, and he was like, oh shit, like this dude really know what he talking about. And Wax shut up. He didn't say nothing else that whole interview. But before I said the dude's name, he was trying to, he had his little audience on,
Fuck
what's
boys,
that shit?
bitch ass niggas,
Clubhouse.
cheerleaders. Yeah.
Yeah. So they was all trying to attack a nigga, but I was, I stood on my business, man. Cause I ain't lying, bro. So that's the thing about me. I don't never lie because I don't like to remember what I told you. So I ain't gonna never lie to a nigga because it ain't worth me. I might lie to my mama, you know what I'm saying? But that's over the phone. You feel me? but at the same time, and that's when I was little. But I don't lie to no nigga that I talk to because I don't want to remember having that conversation. So at least if I say it again, it's gonna be 99 point something percent of what I said the first time. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. But
so what do you think
yeah,
about
man,
him? What do you think about Wack attacking T Grizzly? Now, I've already proven that the paperwork that he said showed that T was snitched on this baby shooter guy. I've already proven that paperwork is totally false. And now Wack is moving away from it. And then Wack is giving instructions to academics and the Poetic Flacos and anybody else in the YouTube atmosphere not to interview me because he's trying to make a story go away. And he's talking about Max B now, and he's talking about other people now because he can't. He still hasn't produced paperwork, and he owes me and T Grizzly money because he made bets through GZ Academics that he has not paid.
Whoa, he might not got it. He a hustler. He might not got it. All this internet, I go back to this. All this internet shit is this entertainment world that niggas ain't really ready for this. You can't put a regular nigga on a big platform like that, and that's what they've been doing. Now let me say this. Everybody, I was one of the first. If I wasn't the first interview that Sharp did, I was the second. I was in his first top 3. So I was in top No Jumper years ago. So, but I will say this. Since Wack got on No Jumper, man, all them niggas got arrested.
Yes. Yeah.
So he gotta fuck with them people. Remember that picture? He was on live and he had like a wallet or something, and it turned around, you could see the badge.
Right.
Remember, he had to explain about the badge. So
yeah, he did.
I think Wack one of them informing niggas, and
Oh, he
I hope
did.
I'm not. I hope I ain't right, but
he's the police now. He's definitely the police. All his activity, all his behavior, everything that he does is smacks of police ass shit. You can't tell me he ain't never told the motherfucker. If you tell me if you tell me that you are aware of Wack 100, his history, everything he's been into, especially over the last 4-5 years, if you tell me that you don't believe he's the police, you a motherfucking lie, and you's a blind bitch ass nigga, and they need to put foot to your ass and kick you straight through the motherfucking door. Simple as that. Because there ain't no way to work from the street and don't see him as the police.
Listen, Suge Knight is my big homie. Suge Knight used to manage Cat Williams for a little while, right before he got into his last incident. He hate that dude. Dude, Suge hated Wack. I don't even know why he was claiming that I don't even know how much he knows Suge. Because the way Suge talk about him is like he don't even know that nigga. He called him the truck driver. Like he's a non-factor to him. So I've met Wack a few times. I don't know what he is in the streets or none of that. I don't know that because I ain't never met him like that. I always met him in an entertainment surrounding. So, where niggas got to kind of be on their best behavior. So it's like, because we got to remember, this ain't our game. This is not our game at all, bro. We invited to this motherfucker, if you're lucky. So, in a lot of rooms, you got to put on your good suit and your good hat and your good shoes and, what I'm saying, with your best cologne. And I think that Wack been in those kind of rooms, man. So that's why he got platforms. I'm pretty sure Nick Cannon put him onto a lot of platforms. You know what I'm saying? Again, because it's all about who you know. So it ain't about what you are, it's about who you know. That's the trick of entertainment. It was never about who you are. Smokey Robinson, Johnny Guitar Watson. It wasn't about who they were as a person because we didn't know them as people. We only knew they work, and that's all that matters. All the personal shit, and that's where the internet is coming in, kind of to me, fucking up everything. Now it's now you can say nigga personal. You can say, oh, I know this nigga personally. Pete in the bitch he was 18 because I know these are not scary world. And if a nigga could be lying, a nigga could be telling the truth, nigga could be telling half truth. Nigga could be hurt and telling his version of the truth. You feel me? But if it all entertainment and it's enough lights in the background and it's enough, you know what I'm saying, sound effects, niggas gonna hear you. Let me say this, and you ain't even asked it, but let me say this. Orlando Brown, that's my dog, bro. I've been knowing Orlando a long time.
Right.
Orlando not lying, bro. Orlando not lying, bro. He not lying, bro. And he not high either. All of that's an act. Look at Ray J. Ray J is doing the same exact thing right now that Orlando was doing. That actually I started, but they shunned me for it, so I just stopped. And then niggas said Corey Holcomb. He's a bitch ass nigga. He tried to steal my whole blueprint and then talk shit about me. Weird. But anyway, that's the thing now. You do not have to be original. That's how all of these cornball ass niggas are getting in the game now. Because it ain't about being original. It's just about how much content you're gonna put up. If you got to Tyler Perry, nothing against him, but he came in the game with 11 episodes, 100 not 11, 100 episodes to a show. 3 different shows had 100 episodes. How you not gonna buy that? So it don't matter if it's good or not, or good content, or it didn't matter. It's about nigga. This nigga got 100 episodes for 4 different shows. That's what it's all about. So these niggas is cornball. Yeah, they cornballs, they fags, they fucking the worst, they monsters, they fucking pedophiles, they fucking all of that. But to me, it's y'all fault because y'all opened the door to a door that's sacred. And now any nigga can walk through the door and be famous. And I blame that on the internet. And that's why you having a problem with Whack 100 because he ain't supposed to be on the internet. He ain't supposed to be a nigga. The shit he's seen and done and shit, he ain't supposed to be talking about that. Because gangbangers don't supposed to be talking like that. Gangbanging is like a religion. So they ain't supposed to be talking against it. So anything he's saying, he ain't supposed to be doing that. He a regular nigga that did some business, I'm sure, but he ain't supposed to be on the internet. Because he's going to say something that's going to get him fucked up, like he already police. I'm sure he ain't want everybody to know he was police. But because he keeps trying to be on camera all day, now we know he the police. It wasn't for you, dog.
I got you. So listen, brother, it's been a pleasure talking to you. I want you to deliver a message to Detroit, to the world of comedy, to the world of entertainment. Take us out.
Hey, to all my Detroit folks, I love y'all to death. I want to say to my Detroit people, stop telling people that you're good. Stop bragging. Stop. It's just like a woman. If a bitch say, I'm a bad bitch, if she say that 4 times, this bitch don't look that good no more. So that's what I feel like Detroit artists, we tell each other that how sweet we are. We just force it on niggas. It ain't always your fault though, because we so overlooked that we have to be on our own dick. But the people of power hate that trait. You will never get no work telling a nigga how good you are. You have to sit back and let a nigga compliment you. And that's what Detroit artists don't, or we're not good at that. We will tell each other, we'll say, this nigga ain't shit, I'm the shit. We started off like that. Detroit people started off, we ugly. We wasn't pretty niggas. We was ugly. We loved being ugly when I was growing up. Don't tell that bitch said you cute. Tell that bitch I'm ugly. So I'm saying Detroit, we own to something. We always been. We are in our own way. Once we get out our own way and start helping brothers instead of talking shit about them, we will be a unit, something that I ain't never seen Detroit be. And I hope that we can get there because I want to be in that one day. That's what I want to say to Detroit. What I want to say to the industry is that the real is coming back. You spent too much money on these internet niggas. They have not delivered. Now you have to go back to the real source. I know it's gonna hurt. We gonna charge your ass up the ass, nigga, because you looked over us. That's how shit go. If you live this for the world, if you live enough days, you will get everything you want. All you gotta do is prepare yourself to wake up the next day. Stop eating sugar. Stop eating salt. Don't do cocaine. Nothing white. That's what I want to say.
Including white bitches.
I like them sometimes. They got ass, but that's a whole nother story.
Got to have some ass now. Hey, listen,
Yeah,
brother.
guys.
It's been my pleasure to have you on the show. You're welcome to come back anytime. If you ever need me, you get my number. All you can do is call me, Mo, please.
Yes. I will call you, brother. What it say,
Spanky,
Corey? What that say?
Salute, brother.
Corey, hold on. So foolish style, bro. That's your opinion. But I'm not going to even say nothing about that. Shout out to Foolish, though. Foolish is my cousin that we don't like each other, but we still cousins. So, shout out to Foolish.
That's Detroit. No cousins like each other in Detroit. Just get in line, nigga. That's how you go.
But I love him, though, and I wouldn't let nobody else hurt him. But I'll definitely jump in and fight with him, to protect him. But we don't talk that much. So, I'm going to stay off that, whoever put that in. Don't mention my brother Foolish. And I do want to say shout out to all the Detroit comedians, young and old. Please put this, whatever y'all, they be beefing because Detroit comedians beef. It's a big beefing city on comedy. I want y'all to stop that because the whole thing is all you niggas beefing. If y'all added up all y'all credits, y'all still couldn't fuck with me. So it ain't about the beef. It's not about that. Get in line. Go to the gym, drink your water, work on your vernacular, learn how to read, learn how to spell, nigga. Money. I'm Spanky Heads, faux pot. Faux pot mean the fat Tupac, just in case you ain't know what faux pot means.
Peace.